So we are here for the NCAA Women's College Basketball Source for January 14th, 2025. So number 3 Silly, they defeat Minnesota 76-50. UNLV just defeats San Jose State 76-850. Number 10 TCU survives over West Virginia with a buzzer beater 3-point shot to win the game 51-50. It was back and forth, but number 10 TCU does pull out the win, just barely. Would have ranked West Virginia if they won that one. But that's definitely not a bad loss for either team. That would not have been, though. But it's not bad. It's a really good win, and it's a good loss. If you're going to lose to a team, that's the team you want to lose to. 14 Ohio State, 108-84 opens 13 Baylor, 16-45 over Utah. Colorado upsets number 18 Iowa, 68-62. Iowa has had a 4-game losing streak. Now, ever since they lost in the Big 12, that game they lost to Baylor, they lost to Cincinnati, then they lost to West Virginia, then they lost to Colorado. And now they're playing on the 18th, which is Sunday. They're playing Sunday on Fox at Oklahoma State. So man, that's tough. A tough battle, but on Sunday Fox game. But can they do it? I don't know. It's gonna be a good game to watch, but it's just tough though. St. Louis beats 57. Merrimack, 50-51 or Merrimack. Loyola Maryland 49% record lead. Massachusetts 82-60 record. Fairfield 63-49 over Rivers. Manhattan 68-59 over Cigarette City 50 USC. Service City 6-62 Texas. San Diego State 73-56 Ricks. Lafayette 78-62-49 over Bucknell. Army 61-46 Rivers. St. Bonaventure 57-40 St. Joseph's. Rhode Island goes to 6 on the 10. 47 over VCU. And like I said, Rhode Island did win 46-41 over VCU. And VCU now did not play bad though. They really didn't, They held Rhode Island to like a really low total for the season on the season. That's probably like one of the lowest scoring outputs of the season for Rhode Island. I can almost believe it. And actually they beat Manhattan 56-38. Was it their lowest scoring output of the season? Yeah, it was. 46-41. And next they have a big game on Sunday on USA Network. USA Network before used to never have Atlantic 10 women's basketball. I remember it used to only be like men's basketball when it was NBC Sports Network. They had only men's basketball on NBC Sports Network featuring the Atlantic 10. It was only men's, but now they have women's basketball in there as well. The Versant, ever since Versant, they spun off like USA Network, like CBC. They're still having like their deals with like the NBC Universal sports deals, like the Olympics and in the Olympics, like the Premier League soccer. They're still in deals with NBC sports properties with them. They still are. So they're not they're basically just what they're doing is the spin-off. They're basically like either having USA Network either take the money, the ad revenue that they get, they're either for those properties, they're either splitting the ad revenue, or they're just paying for the channels and just owning the ad revenue completely. Either way though, either way, there's a benefit for both. Have sports on there. For both NBC and Universal. So having the sports on there, and then Versant, and keep it, and they're having like LOVB, like League One volleyball. They're having like women. They're having rights to the League One volleyball. They bought rights to like Game of the Week on USA every week except for the Olympics when the Olympics run. Weeks like the Olympics run. Like a couple weeks. There's that one Wednesday, the 4th. The Olympics are during the day, but they're not having it. Then afterwards, like those 2 weeks, they're not having any Olympic coverage. And then the NBA's on ESPN Plus is having select games, and then exclusively. And ESPN2's having a feature game. And then Victory Plus, like they're like a streaming service that I believe that was started by the Dallas Stars. Has always airing Dallas Stars like women like NHL games like in that area, and they were exclusively on there. They're running some of that. And then there's extra games on CBS Sports Network and ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus games are simulcast on ESPN Plus, and they're moving. Either they're having like the USA Network feed on ESPN Plus if like they say USA Network wants to pick up extra games. ESPN Plus already had the rights to air the game before the seasons, but then CBS Sports Network may have picked up extra games. So like we'll pick up extra. We'll have some. You might not be exclusive rights to the game, but that's fine. But they win 46 runs, so big win for Rhode Island. They stay undefeated in Atlantic. George Washington 59-45 over Duquesne. It was a low scoring first half. It was 18-14. But then George Washington came out firing in that third win by 7, and then won by 3 in the fourth, 15-45. Boston University stuns Lehigh in the Patriot League. 68-64. Boston University had a 2-9 second quarter, 36-28. Yarn took a 63-55 over Milwaukee. Canisius was close with Niagara, 57-41. Canisius beats it. It was close till the third quarter. Till the fourth quarter was 42-38 after 3. Then Canisius just went 15-3 fourth quarter to beat Niagara. Charleston Southern knocks off UNC Asheville 72-66. Ball State was 5-0 in the Mid-American Conference with a 103-61 win over Buffalo. Buffalo had Becky Burke as their head coach for a bit, and Becky Burke took Buffalo to be a really top contender in the Mid-American Conference. Buffalo was like top 3, was with Ball State, Toledo, Buffalo. They were normally like top 3, like they were in the top 3 of the conference. Buffalo was really falling off. 103-61. Georgia Southern 66-55 over Georgia State. Georgia Southern beats their in-state somewhat rival Georgia State. Old Dominion 65-54 at Appalachian State. George Mason improves to 6-1 at 10 with a 50-54 win over Chicago. Davidson goes to 5-1 at 10 with the 74-51, and so is Richmond with an 85-67 over Dane. Cincinnati Overton survives over UCF 63-59. Butler gets their second Big East win with a 62-52 win over Providence. Seton Hall gets a nice win, 64-61 over Marquette. Washington knocks off Indiana, 82-63. And Indiana now. You're used to seeing Indiana not maybe be like the top team in the Big Ten, but definitely for you're saying Indiana either like maybe ranked, or if they're not ranked, they're on the fringes of being ranked, maybe receiving votes. But man, this year Indiana 0-7 in the Big Ten. Just wow, wow, wow. Long one, 4-0 in Big South play. Now with 171 wins. South Carolina gets win number 1 in the Big South with a 50-38 win over Presbyterian. Radford proves to 2-2 in the Big South. A game above 500 as well. With a 53-38 win over Redwood. Navy 86-60 over American University. Rates Youngstown State in overtime. Defeats Red State 78-67. Cleveland State goes to 500 now in Horizon A play with a 60-52 win over Charter State. Cleveland State it's usually a top team in the Horizon League. They lost to Mercy first time. They lost to Youngstown, Green Bay, Milwaukee. So they had 2 wins. Youngstown, Green Bay are 2 top teams, but Milwaukee they fell 2 by 8. They beat Mercy at home. They lost to Mercy by 8 in Detroit, and then in Cleveland, they won by 16. So they have a rematch with Milwaukee on the 20th of November. Of January, 25th of January, is at Youngstown State, Youngstown, and then they have a rematch with Green Bay, the team they lost to, on the 11th. So, and then we have Green Bay 56 goes to 9-1 Horizon League. They were in non-conference. They were 5-5, but in the Horizon League play, they're undefeated at 9-0, and they're proven why they are one of the best teams in the Horizon League in mid-major basketball. 60-57 over performing. Kent State knocks off Ohio, giving Ohio their first Mid-American Conference loss of the season. 71-68. Miami, Ohio, proven why they still undefeated in the Mid-American Conference. 60-55 Eastern Michigan. Toledo 70-49 Northern Illinois. Bowling Green 61-54 Western Michigan. Oklahoma State was the 15-4, 4-2 in the Big 12 with an 85-76 win over Kansas. Oklahoma State plays struggling Iowa State. Iowa State's lost 4 straight now. They were 14-0, now they're 14-4. We'll see if Oklahoma State can knock off Iowa State and unrank Iowa State. If they lose to if Oklahoma State can beat Iowa State, Oklahoma State will at least be receiving votes. I'm sure they're receiving votes now. Or I'm probably ranked. And then Iowa State might still be receiving votes, but they'll be definitely out of they won't receive enough votes. People rank them like 24th, 25th to put them in, enough points to put them in. Troy 86-80 over Louisiana Monroe. Grand Canyon 65-51 over Nevada. Rice goes to 14-3, 4-0 in the American with a 76-53 win over the University of Alabama at Birmingham. So Rice with a nice non-conference 10-3. That was the South Dakota State, a good mid-major. They beat Houston, a good a power conference team. I mean, they're not the top Big 12. They're like a bottom tier Big 12 team, but still beat Houston, which is really good though. They're really good, which is really good for a team like Rice at Houston. They beat Middle Tennessee State, which is not the best conference team. Middle Tennessee State is not bad in conference just before years past. They're not as good as they have been before. Princeton, they lost to Princeton, ranked mid-major team, the best mid-major in women's college basketball. And number 1 in the mid-major top 25 and in the overall AP top 25. So they're a really good team. And they lost to UCF. They lost to UCF the Knights. So they almost beat them 57-56. So that's a really solid um, losses, or two good mid-major losses, and then a solid win. I mean, against UCF, they lost by point 1.5756. So they could have had UCF too. So the losses are not. I mean, the UCF one is, but still they had it right there. But and then South Dakota defeats North Dakota 62-39. But with that's like we're winning 22-3. South Dakota or North Dakota is really puts them over the edge. Boise State had dominant first quarter 29 and dominant fourth quarter 27-9 to win 77-40 in a blowout. Colorado State 65-63 over Air Force. Fresno State E6-56 over Utah State. And UNLV goes to 7-0 now in the Mountain West with a 70-50 win over San Jose State.